What if I told you that Foundation Season 3, Episode 9 isn't just another setup episode, but a carefully constructed trap designed to pull the rug out from under every single one of us? Because let's be honest, by this point in the season, we all thought we had the Mule figured out, we thought Hari Seldon's grand plan was predictable, and we assumed Brother Day couldn't surprise us anymore. And yet, this episode proves we were wrong. Dead wrong. From the very first scene, the tension is suffocating. You can feel the pieces clicking together like gears in a machine too big for any one character to control. And that's the secret. Episode 9 doesn't just tell us the finale is going to be epic. It shows us by building a stage where every player, from Gaal to the Mule, from Demerzel to Brother Constant, is suddenly in their most dangerous position yet. But here's the problem nobody wants to admit. When a show spends this much time layering secrets on top of secrets, can it really deliver a finale that answers everything? Or are we being lured into yet another paradox, the kind only Foundation dares to trap its audience in? This is where it gets personal for me. Watching this episode, I couldn't shake the memory of Season 1's build-up to the Vault reveal, the way it promised answers but left us dangling in mystery. Are we heading for the same cliff? Or is this the moment Foundation finally cashes in all those narrative debts? Let's start with the Mule. His backstory may have been unveiled in Episode 7, but Episode 9 weaponizes it. Every glance, every decision feels like the moves of a man who's not just trying to win, he's trying to erase the board entirely. What shook me most was the silence around his true plan. Characters whisper about him, but nobody dares say it outright. That kind of narrative silence is terrifying because it means the writers are holding something back, something massive. And then there's Gaal. Once again, she's stuck between destiny and choice, a pawn in Hari's equations and a symbol of resistance against them. The way her arc is framed here almost feels like foreshadowing her downfall, or her ascension. But notice how carefully Episode 9 refuses to commit. Every line of dialogue she delivers could be read both ways as the beginning of a victory, or the quiet foreshadowing of a tragedy. Meanwhile, Brother Day's storyline is the one nobody should be ignoring. Love him or hate him, this man has evolved into the perfect embodiment of Empire at its breaking point. And Episode 9 places him under a spotlight, literally and figuratively, that screams of final judgment. Is he the last day? Or the first of something new? And if the final answers that, will we be satisfied or horrified? I'll be honest, when I first watched this episode, I paused halfway just to catch my breath, because every scene felt like a countdown, like we're being walked toward a door we're not ready to open. So here's my question for you. If Episode 9 is the stage, then who is the real actor the spotlight has been waiting for? The Mule? Gaal? Hari? Or someone none of us are paying attention to? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Episode 9 doesn't just set the stage for an epic finale, it also exposes the cracks in Foundation's grand design. And these cracks aren't small. They're wide enough to make some fans ask the forbidden question, is the show writing itself into a corner? Think about it. We've spent 3 seasons following Hari Seldon's psychohistory, the perfect, unshakable equation meant to predict the rise and fall of empires. But here's the paradox nobody wants to face. Every time the show bends to psychohistory, it risks feeling predictable. And every time it breaks away from it, through the Mule, through Gaal's visions, through Demerzel's rebellion, it risks shattering the very foundation, pun intended, the story is built on. It's a lose-lose situation unless the writers are hiding something bigger. And Episode 9, hence they are. Take Gaal's visions. They're not just flashes of the future anymore, they're warnings laced with contradictions. She sees both salvation and annihilation often in the same breath. And here's where I'll admit something embarrassing. I actually rewound one of her scenes 3 times, convinced I had missed some hidden detail. A symbol, a gesture, anything. That's how much this episode makes you second guess what you're seeing. But let's not ignore the fandom's biggest complaint, pacing. Foundation is notorious for slow burns, and Episode 9 leans heavily into that reputation. Some viewers are already calling it all set up, no payoff. But let's flip the question. Isn't that exactly the point? Isn't the entire Seldon plan one giant exercise in setup, with humanity itself waiting for the payoff centuries later? Maybe Episode 9 is frustrating because it mirrors the very philosophy the show is built on. Patience tested, patience rewarded. And then there's the Mule. Fans love to speculate that he's the real star of Season 3, but here's where Episode 9 throws gasoline on the fire. His scenes are sparse, his words cryptic, his presence looming like a shadow just off screen. And that's deliberate. By withholding him, the show makes him bigger than the story itself. You can almost feel the finale whispering you haven't seen anything yet. But let me ask you directly, do you buy it? Or are you worried the finale won't cash in on this build-up? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I want to see if the fandom is split down the middle like I suspect. Do you believe in the Seldon plan, or in chaos? And speaking of chaos, Brother Day. I can't be the only one who felt Episode 9 turned him into a walking contradiction. One moment he's spitting imperial fury like a god, king, The next, he's cornered, exposed, vulnerable. This is a man defined by control, and episode 9 strips it away in layers, like peeling skin. The controversial part. Some fans think this ruins him. Others say it redeems him. Here's where you come in. Imagine you're writing the finale. Do you let Day fall once and for all, ending the cycle of cloned emperors forever? Or do you twist the knife, letting him survive, but broken, powerless, irrelevant, which is the bigger punishment? And before we go further, let me say this clearly. If you're still watching and haven't subscribed to Buri Knodjebruren with James Roxer, now's the moment. Because trust me, when the finale drops, I'll be digging into every forbidden clue, every hidden symbol, and every shocking twist. You don't want to miss it. But now comes the reveal nobody's talking about. Because buried under all the political maneuvering, all the visions, all the slow, burned dialogue is a single, chilling secret. A secret episode 9 practically dares us to overlook.